This is a Nucleus Nano II remote follow focus from Tilta.
This is a CineD Gear News video, supported by B&H and CVP.
Hi everybody, here from NAB 2023 with CineD. My name is Nino and I'm here with Nick from Tilta. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
So the show has been going on for a while and you guys just announced a couple new products, but today we're particularly focusing on your major announcement, which is a new generation of your Nano follow focus. It's called the Nano II, right?
Yes, that is correct. So this is the Nucleus Nano II. There's a couple of pretty large improvements. The first and most noticeable one would be the new screen, which you can see on the side right here. So probably the biggest update to the Nano II is that it now is capable of controlling up to 3 wireless follow focus motors. As you can see, you have the same wheel on the side that can adjust focus, but now on this you also have a zoom toggle. And then with the expandable handle, you can connect the two units and gain access to DJI Ronin gimbal control and a third finger wheel for iris, allowing you to have a small, lightweight option for controlling 3 channels, as well as Ronin gimbals and camera settings.
Very cool, but just take us back a few years when you announced the original Nano. It only had one channel?
Yeah, so the original Nano was in a 1-channel system. It was essentially the go-to for anyone with a gimbal or who needed a very lightweight system. This is kind of expanding on that, but giving the flexibility of larger multi-channel systems with some other features that we're excited to get into momentarily.
Very cool. So actually it's now comparable to the Nucleus M?
Yes, I would say this is comparable and in some ways a little bit of an upgrade from the Nucleus M. Not fully, but just in some of the tech that we've been developing for this specifically, definitely improves on some functionality of both the Nano and the M, while still being at the affordable price point of the Nano.
So one of the major questions that a lot of people are asking, why is the battery built in with the Nano and also the new one?
So that is correct. This is now an internal battery. There's a couple of reasons why we did that. The main one is so that we could take advantage of a USB-C port that allows for pretty quick charging and also allows you to power it from different high voltage sources. So the internal battery allows you to more easily charge the unit from a larger source. We also are going to have expanded options for how you can charge that battery while using it. For example, the handle that you can see connected to it takes Sony F570 batteries, which are swappable and will allow you to charge the hand unit through the battery. We're also going to have a few different options for ways that you can essentially keep the unit running for upwards of 24 hours. Essentially 7-hour battery continuous use inside the hand wheel itself. But realistically, in most narrative or commercial production environments, you're probably closer to the 18-hour range.
Yeah, I mean 7 hours of continuous use would mean that you constantly are moving it, which nobody is doing, right?
That is correct, yes.
There's a couple other functions that you showed me beforehand. So you can actually control the camera functions with the display, right?
Yes. So there's some pretty exciting new updates to the firmware. One of those would be the increased connectivity between different camera systems. So right now we have some compatibility with Sony, Blackmagic, and Canon cameras, and essentially it's going to allow you to connect the motor through USB-C to your camera and then allow you to wirelessly adjust settings. So as you can see, if I need to change an electronic aperture, I can do that directly through here, as well as settings like ISO. This means that if you have your camera on a gimbal or on a crane or somewhere where it's difficult to reach, you're able to adjust crucial settings without needing an extra app or like building out a larger rig.
Very cool. What else is new?
So the other big firmware update that is one of those things that kind of surpasses the Nucleus M is the new lens profile system. This is going to allow you to calibrate specific lenses and then save that information, which saves time on set when you're using a very specific lens set.
One thing I forgot to ask about the how long the battery lasts. I mean, this seems like an always-on display. Is it as long as the unit is switched on, it's also displaying something, right? It's not kind of going black or anything while it's running, right?
Yes, that is correct. It is possible to dim the display. I believe there'll be some kind of sleep or standby mode if you're leaving the unit aside for a few hours. But in general, the display is always on. It's designed to use as little battery as possible. And again, that does play into the 7 hours of continuous use. But if you were to just leave this running just with the display, you're definitely going to get significantly more battery life.
You also announced something else, which this big lighting yoke motorized, which can be controlled through this as well, right?
That is correct. So through the Ronin connectivity, through the joystick and with the different options for recording and modes, you're also able to control our new remote lighting head, which is going to allow you to connect a variety of different lights. Right now we have it being displayed with the orbiter. It's going to allow you to remotely control the lighting head pan and tilt, meaning that if you have your lighting unit 20 feet in the air and you need to make small adjustments, or if you need to follow an actor, you're going to pretty much be able to remotely operate your light from the same unit that you're pulling focus and zoom from.
So the lighting head, what's special about it? I mean, it can take various sizes and weights of different lights, or is it just specifically for one light?
So we will have a few different options between 6 kilograms to 30 kilograms. There'll be a lot more information coming soon, but essentially we're designing it to be compatible with different sizes of lights so that if you're working with smaller lights primarily, you don't need to purchase a larger, more expensive head, essentially meeting all of our users kind of at the price point and the scale in which they're already operating at.
And I guess if you're working in a studio environment or at a concert shoot or something, you will need to actually control several of those with one unit. So how many can you connect to one?
That is correct. So this one handle can control up to 12 of those gravity remote lighting heads, and we're expecting to have a couple different options for controlling that other than just the Nucleus Nano II, but this is a kind of push to keep this all universal as possible. Another last note to mention on this is that it is fully compatible with all of our previous Nucleus M, Nucleus Nano, and Nucleus Mirage motors, so we're really trying to develop an ecosystem that doesn't leave anyone behind if they purchased the previous one, but allows them to have access to the new updates and features if they're looking to expand their current kit or purchase one for the first time.
Very nice. Pricing and availability of the Nucleus Nano II.
So the system will be starting hand, wheel, and motor at $299. So we're going to be keeping the same price as the original Nano. We're going to have a couple different options for kits, including the handle, multiple motors. If you want to purchase a la carte, I don't have the exact pricing on what all of the kits will be, but we're hoping to start taking orders in early summer, possibly June, maybe July.
Very cool. So same price as before, but a lot more functions actually.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Thank you, Nick. And have a good show for the rest of the show. And thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for a lot more from NAB 2023. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.